comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling, patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar, can a damn soul stop it. Here comes the new kid on the block.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Dusty here with another edition of Dusty's Daily Doubles. Today is Saturday, March 19th, 2022, and yesterday we had a perfect day going 4 for 4 overall with the selections, smashing the Daily Double, going 2 for 2 on the Daily Double, and then going 2 for 2 in our bonus picks. Just a great day, and we're going to come back to the well with another wicked Daily Double and another few bonus picks for you guys. And now let's jump into today's Daily Double. First game up on the docket, we have an NCAA March Madness game between the Michigan Wolverines and this Tennessee Volunteers team. And I think that this is a bad spot for Michigan, quite honestly. They had a great game last game. They're just not on the same level as this Tennessee team, and Michigan has to play absolutely balls to the wall, lights out basketball today to have a shot at winning this game, truth be told. And I think Tennessee just needs to play up to their potential. They can't play down. They just have to play their game, and they should walk away with a victory here. I mean, these teams are different in the defensive rating. That's where this game's going to come down to. Tennessee is has the 9th ranked defensive rating in the nation at 91.5, whereas this Michigan team has a 104.5 defensive rating, which puts them at 257th in the nation. They match up pretty decently offensively, whereas Michigan has the 54th offensive rating in the nation at 109.7. And the Volunteers are 93rd offensive rating in the nation at 107.7. So those numbers are pretty close offensively speaking. But again, this game is going to come down to defense. We know defense wins championships, and I expect this Michigan team to struggle today, especially if Dickinson doesn't get going early. If they're not hitting any threes, it's going to be goodnight Mary. And honestly, I just think this is an easy win here. Last time these teams faced off was in 2014, so they don't know each other well. Michigan did pick up a 2-point win, but we're talking about eons ago. That's 8 years ago, so I mean that has no bearing on this game. There's not a single player from each program, from either program, that will still be there, so that's null and void. But I just think that this Tennessee team has had a great season. They belong in the top 10 in the nation, and I just think that this is going to be an easy win. So for that reason, we are going to take Tennessee on the money line as our first pick of the Daily Double, and we are going to parlay that with our second game, and that is going to be between the St. Mary's Gales, who is a 5th seed, facing off against this UCLA Bruins team that you guys know I love, and they are a 4 seed. This game is going to be a doozy. However, I just don't think St. Mary's has the athleticism and has the skill to beat this UCLA team at this current time. Perhaps if these teams faced off earlier in the season somehow, I could see St. Mary's possibly putting up a better game and maybe catching UCLA on a look-ahead spot or something like that. But quite honestly, these teams play in 2 completely different conferences. Not to throw any shade in at St. Mary's and their West Coast Conference, because it's a pretty good conference. But, I mean, I think the Pac-12 is much harder, and I think UCLA is, again, much more athletic, just head-to-toe, more athleticism, and that usually shines in big tournaments, big tournament games like this, where all the scouts are looking. NBA draft is coming up. I fully expect this UCLA team to be prepared and to go out there and lay a smackdown on the St. Mary's team. I expect them to win by 6 or 7 points. Right now the line is currently at UCLA -3. I think that they cover that with ease, and they win by double that, 6 points, like I said. So much value on this game. It's going to be a tight game. St. Mary's is not a pushover, but this UCLA Bruins team is the better team, is the more athletic team, and I expect them to go out there and pick up a victory. For that reason, our second pick of the Daily Double is going to be the UCLA Bruins on the money line. And remember, we are parlaying that with the Tennessee Volunteers on the money line, and that is today's Daily Double. And now let's take a look at today's bonus picks. First bonus pick that we got up on the docket for today is going to be an ATP men's tennis matchup, and that is going to be between Taylor Fritz and Andrei Rublev. And honestly, this is going to be a banger of a game. These two have faced each other 4 times lifetime. They've both picked up 2 wins, so they are 2-2 head-to-head, which is pretty indicative of how these players play. Fritz is an up-and-coming star. I've been on Fritz a few times in these videos. You guys know I love Taylor Fritz, the American, especially on American soil where this is being played right now at the Indian Wells tournament. But I just don't think that this is a good matchup for him here. This is on hard court, and Rublev is one of the best players in the world. He's currently ranked 7th, I believe. Yes, he's currently ranked 7th, whereas Fritz is currently ranked 20th. There's not too much to separate these two guys, especially on the hard courts where they both love to play. Fritz is 22-12 overall on hard court and 4-5 on the clay surfaces, whereas Rublev is 24-9 overall on the hard court and 9-5 on the clay surfaces. Again, just mentioning that because this hard court is a little bit slower than normal. But honestly, this is a big matchup for both of them, and I just think that the buck stops here for Taylor Fritz in this tournament. He's had a good run, but you're going up against one of the heaviest hitters, one of the best return men. This is going to be a back and forth battle, and I fully expect Rublev to finish off on top and win. I think that Fritz can possibly take a set, maybe 7-5 or something like that. But in the end, I do see Rublev winning 2-1, and there's just decent value here. We're getting almost half your money on Rublev. So for that reason, we are going to take Rublev to win the match as our first bonus pick of the day, and that is in the ATP men's tennis match at Indian Wells. Rublev to win the match is our first bonus pick. And our second bonus pick of the day is going to be a NCAA matchup as well, and this is going to be between the Richmond Spiders and the Providence Friars. And you know that I am not too high on this Providence team anymore. I was once upon a time when the season started. However, in the last few months, I think that they've kind of fallen back to earth. They still are a very good team. Don't kid yourself. I just don't think that they're in the top 10 echelon of the league anymore as they kind of were at the start. They're more like, a 25 to 30 ranked team, in my opinion. However, this is just a very good spot for them. This Richmond Spiders team comes in here on a very big high. They've had 2 good games. They shouldn't even be in the tournament. They beat Davidson outright to get in here on a buzzer beater, and or not on a buzzer beater. Sorry. Late in the game, Davidson missed a buzzer beater, else they'd be here. Anyways, Richmond doesn't even belong here, to be quite honest. They've had an okay season, and they got a big win last game. However, I just think that, again, just like the last game, the buck stops here for Richmond. This fairy tale is over, as this Providence team is a far superior team. They are just bigger, stronger, more athletic. They can score better, and they can defend better. I just don't think that this is going to be a close game at all. And I think that Providence wins with ease, and they probably win by 5 to 7 points here. But for that reason, we are just going to take Providence on the money line as our second bonus pick of the day. And our third bonus pick is going to be another decent game. But again, it's another one of those situations where, yes, this team has played pretty good. However, the buck stops here. And that is going to be between the New Mexico State Aggies and the Arkansas Razorbacks. The Aggies have been playing pretty good all season, and they're having a little decent run here in this tournament. However, they are a very hot, cold team, and if they cool off at all, even for 2 or 3 minutes in this game, I think that'll be enough time for Arkansas to hit a few buckets and pad a decent lead. The only way that I can see this Aggies team keeping up is if they shoot absolute lights out from three-pointer all game. I just don't see that happening, as Arkansas defends much better than these other teams that they're used to. The SEC is a much better conference than the Western Athletic Conference, and Arkansas has been playing teams that are grittier and stronger and better all season long, and they have been consistent. That is the difference here, is the consistency. Arkansas is a more consistent team, and I think that they are going to be ready today, and they are just going to play to their potential, and they are not going to give up free looks from 3 points. And I think it's going to be a tough spot here for New Mexico State. So for that reason, we are going to take Arkansas on the money line as our third and final bonus pick of the day. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Make sure you guys drop your comments, and let's keep this March Madness going, baby. Dusty's Daily Doubles back on track.